Mafia-owned Reznor Space Heaters is also involved by activities. It is in Mercer, Pennsylvania. There is connectivity occultic with the Hortons and Hausers of Clarion, Pennsylvania that is close. Relatives also own Horton Electric that contract with Reznor as electrician contractors for installation amongst their associating networking partiality and favoritism. These were civilian contractors, therefore, on my base of the Air Force Reserve's 910th Airlift Wing during my reserve duty on conspiracy on the same assignment. After the installed Horton Electric trucks, Reznor Space Heaters were installed. The conspiracy of UCMJ infractions through past assertions for intelligence, whereby the DoD did forfeit their contract on me by these UCMJ tracking crimes, actually forcing that I do not come to drills anymore without a clear explanation. Because I was a Christian on base when they were all crypto-Satanists that were on the base otherwise, and is factual, when I did insist on a medical evaluation for fitness, I was refused because they knew that I would pass it. The commander of my squadron forced me to not come to drills any longer. This was after they attempted threats on my life and told me that, through my supervisor, when I asked to see my file, that my file had been destroyed. He said, "You have no file any longer." Under this breakdown, mafioso were involved, such as Jason Gallo. It was the Bush administration, the Bush-Cheney administration, and Obama had not been elected yet when Joe Biden was his vice president. But Joe Biden was involved in this conspiracy, who is from Scranton, that is right beside Newcastle, that is right beside Mercer. Knowing my family from Clarion, Pennsylvania, such as my biological father. But as vice president, when Barack Obama was involved as an affiliation of my so-called sister that is amongst the schizophrenic ideation concept policy of the insurrection ideation known as CAPI, as predominant amongst the insurrection group, there are 2 or 3 of them, as has been explained for past assertions in previous intelligence. Rehash, nomenclature in the intelligence, it Jackson, the Avon Lake version of so-called Sister Cat Horton, and the reason why Barack Obama did get elected as president as a member of the gang that my so-called sister, who is a Jackson, belongs to, and Joe Biden was the president, while she pretended to study communications at the Jesuit University of Loyola University in Chicago, but played around, did nothing else, but acted like a little kid working for a toy store, and stealing my essay compositions for as theft of my intellectual property to try to pass, but there were conflicts because none of them that she tried to use were consistent with any assignments that she did have, and was obviously stupid plagiarism. The Mafia forced them to give her non-credential favors of good grades. Bonzo of Ireland was also involved with this, as an Irish Catholic like Joe Biden is, and they are affiliated thereby. In this conspiracy fought on my life, during my enlistment, I did witness Gary Horton at the file counter that I worked at as a file clerk, attempting to be incognito with a jet black wig when he is bald and has looked during the 70s, being the same age as Maurice Gibb, with the same bald spot, and a dyed black mustache. I was trying to go to JAG about this. The rest of this aspect of the conspiracy is beyond scope of this purpose for this document. Specifically, I was threatened by DoD members that they would hunt me down and kill me, and so also did David Hauser himself when I went to Clarion, Pennsylvania, on a day that I was being hunted down with death threats. And then he told me that he would do the same. I did witness and experience this. All of this without just cause. They were the treasonous criminals, and I am innocent. The family owning operating Reznor Space Heaters has a son named Trent. He himself is the only constant member of a so-called troop with a record contract, in collusion with Peter Gabriel. And same conspiracy has, before he received his contract, by favors of in compensation for some acts during the time I was in high school, being behind my back familiar with some people that I was appointed with, such as Mark Kearney and Geoff Peterson, etc., covered for past assertions in previous intelligence and other intelligence, were plotting on myself then, impact, and divination assignment, and for this, as favors received the recorded contract. There's other intelligence on this. Moved from Mercer, Pennsylvania to Youngstown, to Cleveland, as a nightclub performer. And his actual, the Wikipedia article is false because he does have a Italian family. But the Wikipedia article disacknowledges this and is omitting. But as a nightclub performer, impressionable upon the flock of seagulls, and the one hit having recording artist that had the hit titled Cars, to be an electronic musician, in the particular style, became a member of the Gothic cult in Lakewood, living there, having moved to Cleveland, and to use a colloquial, did the Cleveland club circuit in Cleveland before receiving a recording contract while living in Lakewood, Ohio, knowing people that I have known. The Gothic cult he became a member of is the one aforementioned. Brian Warner did become a part of it, and it was used when he did cooperate in fact to become the successor of Peter Gabriel and Phil Collins and members of my family, the Hortons, conceived and engineered plot of human sacrifice to the large arena of the skinny puppy, as you have heard of, when there should have been any reason that anybody should have. It's really stupid type of method. When Trent Reznor became impressionable on them, when in the divination assignment in Pact, he was booked as an opening act for this stupid, really previously completely unknown, obscure, rare little act of a record company that a member of my biological family was a member of the executive of. That really their large act is Celine Dion and Sarah McLachlan, really. But they are just a plot to kill. And these are really successors of them, impersonating them impressionably. The Trent Reznor and Brian Warner, who is of the stage named Marilyn Manson from Canton, Ohio, when this gothic cult had a number of people that formed bands as a popular activity of theirs, of an electronic punk nature, had in their circuit a place called Odyssey that was a skating rink that would be used as a venue in the Canton area. I have seen the place, since it has no longer been used as that, or called Odyssey anymore. When I did live in Stark County in Canton, Ohio, it's in a place that is it's named after a lake, a certain region of the Canton area. I can't remember the name of the lake, but there is nearby a fried fish restaurant that serves fish and chips called Timothy's Tavern in something lake area of Canton, Ohio. And this is the connectivity between Trent and Brian Warner before he moved to Jacksonville, and he became the so-and-so of the Spooky Kids. This is the childish stuff of it, although it is true as facts for intelligence. They are childish ones. Mafia-owned Reznor space heaters. So there is a connectivity between Mercer, Pennsylvania, Horton Electric, by the contracting to be electricians installing that are relatives, and in Foxburg, Pennsylvania, that my cousin Danny is very close to, Danny Hauser. And through the social program of the occult network that virtually everyone within these borders virtually has been lured into and has become a part of. Everyone knows this. There is a secret social program of who is famous and well known through the secret societies that include all gangs, secret societies, guilds, Freemasons, etc., so on. All know of these things the same. And by this pyramid scheme with the favoritism and favors and partiality and nepotism, there has been a relationship formed to bolster his public image through the secret network's social program. By the usurpation of their social program, this happens when everyone is going to bars and such and so forth, and through that everyone else besides me, because I don't do any narcotic drugs or any illegal substances, all the rest go to drug dealers that are all occultic, and this has all spread these ways, and I am redeemed, separate, set apart from, non-conforming, has formed friendships with such as Trent Reznor, and has become, since going to college in Georgia and knowing REM and becoming a satanic priest, is a real nerd. Danny, you like to say, you're a idiot. You're an idiot. So they are, for assignments in close relationship with him, to bolster his popularity and favors, try to give him tips and pointers on how to be popular in the vain, shallow, adolescent type of mentality that all these occultists have with their disorders. And it's become virtually all the rest of the society that I'm in the midst of. For example, had been assigned to be pen pals with members of a troop with a recurring contract by Peter Gabriel, scouted from York, Pennsylvania, that has been called by them alive because it is how you spell evil backwards. They hang out with him. His dad, who was from Harrisburg and is in a family of Amish Mennonites, but marrying my aunt, disowned, is attending Methodist church as a crypto-Satanist. He threatened my life. He said he was going to kill me. Right to my face in his car, because I suspected these things, and he was defensive in his guilt and malicious with retaliation. Does no Joe Biden closely. He was also criminally treasonously involved and needs to be ousted as president. It is really dangerous. His mindset and mentality and mental state is very extremely dangerous. I'm warning you, it is so. And I'm doing service to national security interests actually, and he is counterfeit. Like, is this normal? We're wearing masks and being forced to wear masks everywhere. I can't find the toilet. This is not general welfare. This is just the itchiest, fiftiest, teeniest, weeniest thing. Does anything seem normal to you anymore? Does it really? Really honestly. Would somebody freaking wake up? Nobody's dying of COVID. This is all fake. They're committing euthanasia on multitudes to decrease the frickin' population at the hospitals, and the hospitals are only being used for that. I just went through the other day. There's finally no visitors are allowed to the hospital anymore. That was ridiculous.